Assalamu alaikum, sisters and brothers. Sulaiman Rahim here, Minister of the Covenant, breaker of the seven seals. Wartime. Wartime, brothers and sisters. Topic, hearts and minds. Wartime. Before I begin, I want to make a couple of comments. Something special. In the last couple of years, I've been on post for 50 years now, over 50 years. And I've been on post with Angel for 30 years now. 20 years with Elijah, 30 years with the angel. And after Elijah, I've been walking alone, studying, sacrificing. But the last couple of years, over the years, I've run into all types of people, all manner of people. But in the last couple of years, I met the most beautiful people I've ever met. Since the messenger's departure. And for some reason, their eyes were open to the angel, no compulsion, no urging, no convincing. They stumbled across it and it opened their eyes. Or maybe perhaps they let their eyes be opened. Whatever reason. These are special people. Now, Allah never makes a mistake. So if they was chosen, there must be something special, a special reason. I hope they come to understand that, because this is very special. Be chosen to have your eyes open when 8 billion people are walking around in darkness, totally blind, not 80%, not 90%, not 99% blind, but 100% blind, and they're walking around with their eyes wide open. Not only are their eyes wide open, but they have a bright light to illuminate the world around them. They can see it clearly. And maybe that realization is just too awesome for them to understand. Because that means they have a special place. It'd be a shame if they were chosen, if you will, to be in that situation at this particular time, a situation where all the prophets and messengers wish that they could have been in if they were here at that time, and blow it. I don't think anyone understands the gravity of the situation. 8 billion people in total darkness. Yeah, you got a handful of people eyes are wide open, and they know their eye open. They know they can see. They've been given a great opportunity. Are they going to stand up to it? They're going to stand up and take their place in history. Because no matter what they do, whether they stand up, right, to achieve or stand up to that responsibility or not, history is going to record it. Because the time of Suleiman, from the time of breaking the seals up until abomination of desolation, those events will be recorded in great detail, and these people's names will be prominent. And so those names will be because they exceeded the responsibility, having the eyes wide open, or will it be an example of those who had their eyes open, who did nothing? It's up to them to decide which it will be. From my point of view, they're a breath of fresh air. They're the most beautiful people I've ever met. Because the only people since Elijah Muhammad's departure that I could even talk to. They have their eyes wide open. And their eyes would not have been allowed to be wide open. There wasn't a special responsibility being placed upon them or a special place they have in the hereafter. So I'm going to leave it there. So I'm going to move on to the main topic, hearts and minds. Hearts and minds, brothers and sisters. See, there's so many things we could talk about. And myself, a brother came in and says, well, what you think if I talk about the plagues? Of course. We got all kinds of things to talk about out there. I can't talk about all of them. I'm trying to I've been sick for 3 months with this COVID thing, and I'm trying to do at least two a day. And today, I spent 4 hours just trying to get OBS to work. They are doing all kinds of things. And on top of that, I've been coughing incessantly like a maniac for the last few days. Then the coughing died down, and now my lungs are so sore, I couldn't even talk. So painful. So they are doing everything they can to stop this message. I guess if nothing else works, they just go for the jugular. They've tried that in the past. I don't think they will do that again, but they might. But there's so much information out there that I put out there. And I'm amazed sometimes at all the information out there. Because I go back and look and say, I have that much information out there? Because I've been busy. And I'm not deleting anything. I'm not like Farrakhan delete his archives, so he's a great prophet. If you're a prophet, you wouldn't want to delete your prophecies, your past predictions, your past statement, because that validates your prophetic ability. That's the whole thing, right? You got to have a history of showing that you've been prophesied that your prophecies were correct, so you don't delete that, because that's how people know, determine your credibility. I prophesied COVID. Why would you want to delete that? So people go back and say, man, 2 years ago, he said there'd be going to be a COVID before it happened. Why would you want to delete that? But if you said 2 years ago, man, ain't nothing, everything's cool, God's blessing America, we're going to greater heights, you want to delete that, wouldn't you? But that's not what happened. That's not what is happening. So I try to, I don't have much feedback. A lot of feedback I'm getting is from the people that, consider themselves working with me. I try to, tailor a lot of things based on their response. So I kind of have a feeling for, what direction to take the messaging, because there's so many different things. All of it leads to, all is based on Abrahamic covenant and lead to the abomination of desolation. But one of the things is people, and I try to get them to understand that they want to, why people are not listening to this. I mean, does it make sense, man? I mean, how can they, it's logical. I mean, 2 + 3, I mean, that's 5, right? How can they miss that? And you tell them it's 2 + 3 is 5, and some guy they tell them it's 2 + 3 is 23. That's obvious. Why didn't listen to that guy? And they know math. Why listen to him? You know why? Because he got a nice voice. 2 + 3 is 23. No. And the guy is saying 2 + 3 is 5. He's saying 2 + 3 is 5. So what's more interesting? 2 + 3 is 23. I'm gonna buy my baby a Christmas tree, whatever. Understand where I'm coming from? Hold on for a second. Here's the problem. We'll move here. Here's the problem. Mind or heart. Heart's not logical. It's emotional. Acts on emotion. Doesn't act on logic. It wasn't built to act on logic. Built to act on emotion. I feels about this. I feels about that, right? You see, you go to a rap thing, right? Conference or whatever they call them, right? And the guy's rapping and he calling all the this hoes and bitches in there, and they, hey man, go on, JC, man, they love it. They like the music. They ain't paying attention to the lyrics. Your mind pays attention to the lyrics. The brain pays attention to the music. You see where I'm coming from? Farrakhan plays the music. See? And that's, they peel into the heart. And they got that people reduce from mind to heart. And the only way you're going to penetrate them, see, we talk about the analytical and the spatial, right? That's on the mental level. I've been telling you about the vibration of the heart. I mean, I spoke about that, and when I talk about the 5 fundamental pillars of Islam, got to make the heart firm, because when you make it firm, it means you get a mind more control. Because if you don't firm the heart up, it takes control. So when you make salat, you get the heart under control. So then your mind can take control. Because if you let that mind heart just go unchained, then it's going to take over the mind. And that's the state our people are in. They're on the level of heart. They go with these, I mean, I kind of like thought I explained this, but I guess I did in a way. But like I said, I can't have to focus on some things. And this will maybe make this clear. Not any contradiction. I said it in the 5 fundamental pillars of Islam. I said I'm gonna take this time right now to focus on it more directly, because when people ask questions, how can they listen? How can they understand? Because that's a valid question. Man, this is so clear, so simple. Not that hard, it's not. See, Farrakhan, he had a see, the God saw the issue with Farrakhan. That's why he didn't want Farrakhan. He told Elijah, no. Elijah, no, he could speak better. Yeah, but he speaks in the heart. See? And so he brought a lot of people in because he speaks to the heart. That's why they're there. And they pay no attention to what Elijah Muhammad was talking about, even though they claim they were Elijah Muhammad. And nothing that Farrakhan is saying is consistent with what Elijah Muhammad was saying. Because he playing the music, but he ain't playing the lyrics, but they want to hear the music. FOI, uniform on, right? And all this other stuff, right? But the lyrics, the logic of it, they ain't with it. Because he got them reduced to the heart level. Our people on the heart level. And the devil knows that, and that's why he peels at the heart. He gives them all the music and all this stuff. And the music they be singing and stuff is against them. But the heart doesn't care. If it's a good beat, they don't care what the lyrics is. They don't give a damn what the lyrics is. That's the problem. That's why they don't understand, because they ain't trying to understand. That's why it said, son of perdition, he says they didn't have any care for the truth. It says it. It says those with him, they had no love for the truth, no care for the truth. So God gave them strong delusions because they was controlled by their heart, not by their mind. So you can talk all day long. But now if we get out there and start rapping and playing music and violin and all that kind of stuff, then we'll attract them. But it would be no good, because you'd have to keep doing that to keep them. Well, oh man, I'm Jay-Z, man, he ain't, kind of like propaganda, man, they ain't in fashion anymore. You see what I'm saying? But that's what you keep doing. Because they operate on that level. So you even bring them in, it's not going to do any good, because you got to keep on playing music to keep their attention. Because they ain't hearing the angel, they're not hearing it. The people in you go to churches, the choir and all that stuff, they peel into the heart. They ain't peeling into the Bible. Those people not reading the Bible. You listen to them. Oh man, Pastor, man, he had a good, and that choir, man, and boy, Pastor Reverend, man, he was really getting down. Man, he's a woman. God's gonna get you, and boy, he got into it today, man. They don't be talking about the scripture, though, do they? Talk to them. Go interview them coming out of the church. They ain't got nothing to say about the scripture. They got to talk about how Pastor rubbing ass, right? He was humming, man. He was getting down, man. He was jumping, and we had the Spirit, the Holy Spirit, walking in tongues. See that tongue stuff? Think about that. Speaking in tongues. Well, they ain't It's by the heart. Nobody knows what the hell they're talking about. How do we solve that problem? Well, Master Abraham has a solution. See? Because the heart responds to fear. He's about to release fear on their ass like they've never seen before. The abomination of desolation. That's what's going to get it. Because once that fear, then your mind kicks in. See? Because you have to use your mind to figure out how to get it away from that fear. Your heart ain't going to tell you how to do that. It just knows it's scared. Because when your heart gets scared, if your mind don't kick in, you just stand there like a deer in headlights. People get free, they freeze up. Why? Because they're afraid, but the mind don't kick in. You need your mind to get you out of it. And that's because when he pulled that plug on false Israel over there, and it's what's going to go down here, it's going to put total fear. And that's going to be one of the last tests. Because if your mind don't kick in then, you're dead. If your mind don't kick in then, you're dead. And we don't want those, just can't get to it. Just can't. I said, we're at the finish line. We had to cross that finish line. And so he's getting ready to give you that last, your gold. Your last test. Is it going to be mind or heart? Right? Which one is it going to be? Emotion or intellect? We want intellect. We're making it clear, brothers and sisters. The analytical mind is keeping blocking this information to get in. But see, that's for those, right, that on the intellectual level. But if you on a heart level, emotional level, that don't even matter. But you got analytical or spatial mind, because you ain't getting not getting anywhere near that. Anyway. Most of our people, right, on that emotional mind. Democracy is all about emotions. That's about 85%, 10% to 5%. Well, what else? Let's say 85% are poison nanometers, hard to lead in the right direction, easy lead in the wrong direction. But based on democracy, those are people that would rule. They would the one to tell you what to do. Now, why would, if you intellectual, and that's not arbitrary. Every society breaks down like that, like your body. Every person on the planet, I don't care whether they're green, yellow, orange, or white, right? See, they got a heart. They got similar body. In general, some more structure than other, but the structure is the same. Like a car, you got a Lamborghini, you got a Volkswagen Beetle. They still have the same functions. It's one is better than the others. So 85%, every nation is based on that structure. 85% to 10% to 5%. You see the trick that's being used here? Because if you apply democracy and you know that's the situation, that means the 85% are going to rule. They're going to make decisions. So they're going to destroy your intellect. The intellect's going to be terrorized by them. They would spurn the intellectual. They would hate the intellectual. They would kill the intellectual. You see that? You go out there and start talking about stuff to make sense, and man, you might get your hair cut. Nobody hear that. Man, get out here with that shit. I don't hear that, man. See? Because you a pariah. Don't be. If you intellectual, man, you a turn off. You know it. You outcast. So how are the people going to move around, advance? Because if you Your intellect, you rule by your heart. That means you're blind because your heart can't see a damn thing. Heart can't see anything. You can hear, it can't see. So the whole nation is blind. And they took us down to the emotional level, our intellectual level 35 years ago. Religion. All religion is based on emotion. All the reality of the world is based on emotion, not intellect, because they wouldn't survive intellectual test. That's the problem. And you got that ratio between intellect and emotion, and we're going to have pure gold, and that's the final test, right? We're down to just gold now. See? But is that gold going to be hard gold or soft gold, so to speak? You only want the hard, so which now you call gold, right? But is emotional or intellectual? We want the intellectual. And that's where we are right now. Because angel appeals to your intellect, but devil appeals to your emotion. And so you're going to get one last chance when Master Muhammad pulls the plug. He released all that emotions because all the devils, they're going to focus on you, all that intense emotion, all at once, a time of unprecedented trouble. Total darkness. And the only way you'll come out of it with the intellect, it doesn't know how to come out of it. All it knows is the fear. It knows that it exists. It knows you're in trouble, but it doesn't know how to get you out of it. Then it has to submit to the intellect. And if you don't have intellect, then you're dead. That's your final test. The final test, brothers and sisters. Oh, well, some people get to make up tribulation, but that's all about fear, ain't it? Am I making myself clear? Because, I keep asking myself, there's so much. Am I covering the right things? Because I assume, see, that's a problem. I do assume things I shouldn't, because there's so much information. I just think people understand where I'm coming from, what I'm saying. I don't get that much feedback. I do pay attention to people that are working with me. I pay attention to what they're saying. They may not think it. I love them all dearly. I'm trying to figure out. And I said, because some things I said, I can see why they might say what they're saying, because they don't understand that concept. They didn't pick it up. Because if you go back and see when I talked about the 5 fundamentals of Islam, I talked about this type of stuff, but not in this detail. So that should answer the question why it's not making any sense to them. It won't make sense to the heart. But if you got one of those rappers to rap it, they respond to it on an emotional level. Because Hollywood, you get one of these sisters out here, and they calling the bitches, hoes, talking about a mama and everything else. And she's doing all kinds of unseemly acts. Some of me have them sleep with dogs, and they be sisters man, jamming. It's like, wait a minute, they know what they're saying? It's like that movie, Black Panther. All black folks was really wrapped up in that movie. And I'm saying to myself, they gave me, because they call it Black Panther, got black actors and all this kind of stuff. And they pull up all the emotional buttons. But the whole movie was anti-black. And people got angry with me. Oh, man, you just ain't with it, man. You just don't understand nothing. I swear, hold it. Did you see the movie? Did you pay attention to what they were saying? They was killing everybody. Was trying to help black people. Anybody trying to help black people, it was totally anti-ist. And then you got Ava and all the time. Oh man, we gotta see that movie, man. what they call those people, whatever land they was in, right? I said, Negro, the movie was anti-Islamic. They started out in the very beginning killing blacks over in Africa. Somebody was killing women. I don't know if they was not, but they made a point of it. And then the guy that was supposed to be the hero that's going to try to take the power from them and give it to black folks over here. He had all these bumps on his arm, right? He told you, from killing Muslims over in Afghanistan. It was totally Islamic, anti-Islamic, totally. It was animism. It was the worst. And these people had the power to stop our condition. They was empowered. The whole time we was enslaved over here. And they could have stopped it and didn't raise a finger. And then when someone came over to try to do something, they killed them. At the end of the movie, and then during the movie, all the women, these are African women now, none of them have any hair. Because they don't want to see that hair. White folks don't want to see that hair. So you go to Africa, you see all the women with hair bald. Only 2 of them had some hair, and then they was covered. I think it was one woman, she was a younger one, they let her have some braids or something. And then at the end of the movie, they gave all their power to the white folks. And then he was contemplating where he should build a affordable housing complex for the Negroes. I said, that movie was totally, but man, they was flocking like geese. That movie made the people rich off a film that was totally anti-black, totally. Because it appealed, because they put all the Black Panther, man, and this dude was cool, he was young, and all this stuff, right? See? And that appeals to the heart. But if the mind right away say, hey, there's something wrong with this, because when I said, hey, there's something wrong with this, this ain't this Black Panther. I knew right away. And every time I stop talking to people about it, people just get angry. Just like the Democratic Party. They play the music, but you pay attention to the lyrics. They're putting all your children. They're putting all your men in jail and 3 strikes out and long sentences and all the stuff these folks are doing, right? And Biden was one of the most anti-black. He got him on tape saying, nah, man, you need to put him in jail forever. They play the lyrics. I mean, they play the music. And the no black folks are, oh, yeah, man. And they get mad at you saying things about the Democratic Party, which makes no sense at all. That's what I'm trying to make it, brothers and sisters. You can talk, enjoy you want to. It makes total sense to you, and you're blessed. Like I said, those ones that stand, you are extremely blessed. You don't have no idea how much blessed you are. And you're going to take and piss on that blessing? You should be fired up. You should be wanting to make 5 videos a day. You should be so fired up. The great future that's being prepared for you. This little bullshit going over here. Some of you be around here 4 and 5, 600 years from now. And you're going to blow that for some crappy little crap over here, some crappy little job and whatever, and all this stupid shit going over here. Sisters, I want to tell you, I told you I make it clear and clear as we get, but it's so much. And yeah, they stick me with this COVID. I don't know what, they got some kind of way of screwing around with me. And they definitely mess with my computers. I mean, they're trying to frustrate me so I don't do anything. Because I literally spent hours today this is my second video today. Figure out how to get around stuff and do this, do that, and whatever. See? Something else, brothers and sisters. I'm trying to focus on the things I need to focus on. But this all about, and this time right now, it's all about the abomination of desolation. Because that's going to speak to your heart. It's going to put your heart in so much fear. A lot of you are not even going to get to that point. because your intellect is totally. See, what we're trying to do is we're trying to imprint an idea on your intellect. So when you get into fear, right, your intellect will kick in enough to save your life. See, that's what I tell my people it's all about. Just put the information out there, put it on their minds, because right now they're not going to accept it. They're still emotional. But when their heart freezes up, they have that on their mind. Because if their mind doesn't kick in, they're dead. So when their mind, when the heart freezes up, their mind kicks in, then they'll. If your mind kicks in, you still know what to do, then you're still dead. That's why we got to put it there. So their mind kicks in. Because when you're under extreme fear, then your mind tries to kick in, if that's possible. If it kicks in, there's nothing there, then you're just frozen. You stand there. You don't know what to do. Because your mind has to know what to do. So that's why I put information out there. So if it kicks into the mind, then you know what to do. That's the only way you're going to get to your mind. Freeze that heart. When that heart gets under extreme fear, it kicks to the mind. What to do? See, the heart ain't going to tell you what to do. The heart says, what should I do? What do I need to do? And that's when because that's the question. That talks to intellect. See, now it wants to listen to the intellect. Now it wants to listen to the intellect. When it's totally frozen in fear. See, then it wants to listen to the intellect. Intellect, what should I do? Intellect comes back and says, I don't know. You're dead. Both of them frozen up. So you got to have something there so you can say, oh, this is what's happening. So you can analyze the situation. I can't do that. And say, this was, that's what we're trying to do, brothers and sisters. Put that information out there on their mind. But they're not, because this, whether intellect acts or not, if it hears something, it still remembers it. It might not act on it. See? Heart's in control, but the mind still remembers. The problem is, which one has control? That's the problem. Which one has control? So when the heart's under extreme fear, it's going to give control to intellect. And the intellect going to have to know what to do. Yeah. It's how people lost for lack of knowledge, not lack of emotion. So therefore, when it kicks the intellect, they don't have the knowledge. They're lost. But when it freezes up, right, it's going to connect up. It's going to listen to the intellect. Intellect better know what to do. And that's what we're trying to do, brothers and sisters. Hope you understand. That's what we're trying to do. Put information out there. Because when an abomination of desolation happens, right, it says men's hearts be falling for fear. Hearts failing. They say minds failing. Hearts failing for fear of those things that they anticipate coming upon the earth. See? But the heart's in control. Because the heart fails, it takes the mind down with it. See? These people who are still, right, they're controlled by the heart. See? And their hearts are failing. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. Escaping the gravitational vortex. We got to leave this world behind and all the emotions that go along with it. Because the gravitational vortex, I told you, it's all about emotion, right? It's attracting you with this, attracting you with that, money, religion, all these illusions. This is all emotional stuff. None of it's rational. Nothing rational about the cross. There's nothing rational about false Israel, that the belief that they're the future Abraham. There's nothing rational about that. It's not, it's not intellectual. It's all false. They can't add it up. It doesn't make sense. But you get along, get away with it. money, big falsehood. It's all emotion. You think, oh, I need money. Think, I need, they're appealing to your emotion. Music, Hollywood. And then it makes it so expensive, right? If you try to get involved on an intellectual level, like getting a college or something, which is they're not that intellectual, but it's more intellectual than this stuff. It makes it so expensive you can't do it. So you got those walking around that are on the intellectual level, but there's nothing to feed them. So they attract the people like Farrakhan that claims they're on the intellectual level. And so they go there, like we know some people, I mean, the church team, dirty water, no water. I mean, they claim so. At least they make the claim. Otherwise, then you just toil out in the desert, in the wilderness. That's the problem. But then when the angel comes along and there's clean water and they hear it, they come running. That because everything makes sense there. So therefore, the demons' whole objective is to make sure that never happens. Make sure you never hear it. Make sure they never hear it. Keep you on an emotional level. Because they know that's why they're doing everything they can to keep me from talking. Because they know if those people hear this, those people that, right, that trying to um, address their intellectual level, because they know they're not getting in the church, they're not getting in Hollywood, they're not getting these films, they're not getting NBA. See? So if they hit, they come run into it, and they once they get, they ain't leaving. Just like when Elijah Muhammad's around, all the intellectual, the true intellectual, came running to Elijah Muhammad. Because it made sense. It added up. It fed the intellectual curiosity. It fed the intellectual mind. Because they was either 5 or 10%ers. That's what gravitated me to. Well, I'm not in the right place. Because everything said Adam, I wasn't going anywhere. There wasn't no way they were going to get me out of there. Once I heard that, man, I was like somebody out in the desert. They've been out there for 30 years. And all this is sand and drinking, squeezing cactus, get water out of that or whatever. And then you run into a pool of clean water. Ooh, you ain't leaving that. That's like paradise. Elijah Muhammad was like paradise to me. I remember when I first, I'm not going to go through the whole story. When I first, I think it was beginning of August 1970, because I got my X 21st, and they told me no one's ever got an X as fast as I did, because I was serious. They told me that nobody ever got the X. My first letter, everything, right through. I was in Newark, New Jersey, went through the first time. He said they never saw anyone get the X as fast as I did. That's what they told me. I was serious. Because when I first came to the temple, I was looking. And I was telling these brothers, I was telling people, every time I met somebody, I was talking about the scripture, because I met this one brother, he was from California. I always thought people from California was crazy because it was always weird. I didn't, we never knew anybody from California, but for some reason he moved out to New Jersey. He was, because I always thought people were dope heads or something out there. I mean, they act, in California, act a little different, right? Anyway, we was kind of friendly. So when I came looking for Elijah, And I came back to New Jersey. I'm telling people about the Bible, and the brother said, hey, man, you sound like them Muslims. And I've been hearing that all the time I was in the military. People say, I didn't know what a Muslim was. Man, you a Muslim? I didn't know what they were talking about, right? And he said, man, you sound, what's these Muslim people? You tell me about these Muslim people, right? He said, well, why don't you go down here? I think it was South on Jam or Temple 20. And I said, man, yeah, I'm not actually right around the corner from there. So why don't you go down there? So I said, hell, okay, I'm going down there, right? So, like this ignorant I was, right? I went and got me a dashiki, man. Nice, expensive one, beautiful. I got my fro, man. I had me a nice fro, man. I really got it all did up real good, right? And had my bell bottoms, right? I'm African, man. I'm soul brother, right? I bop up in there. I can't remember now. It must have been on a Wednesday. I mean, no, it had not a Wednesday. It had to be because they have meetings on Wednesday and Friday and Sunday, but like they have FOIMGT on Saturday, right? So I must have came in on an off day like Monday or Tuesday. I didn't know. And I knew most of the brothers up there because I grew up with them. I said I lived right around the corner from there, right? And so I bopped up them there, and I knocked the door, and somebody answered the door. They wouldn't let me in. Brother, you can't come. I said, well, I can't come in here. Said, well, definitely can't come look like that. Look like what were you talking about? He's got his suit on and hair cut nice and everything right down. What are you talking about? I can't come here looking like that. I said, must be something wrong. Because I had already had the experience with the Black Panthers. Because my journey looking for Elijah, I checked them out first in California. I met Bobby Seale and David Hilliard. And I wasn't eating pork. I wasn't doing those things because the Bible said don't do it. And whatever the Bible said, I did. So when I met them, they were back in the backyard, barbecue, eating pork and everything. I said, oh, I know something wrong with these brothers. It can't be anything with Elijah. Right? So, I ain't that's a long story. I got away from them. So then I said, I go down here to the temple, I'm not going to do it. Brother, oh, you can't look like, I said, what you can look like this? I said, well, this is another Black Panther experience, right? So I'm looking, I said, what you mean? Well, you can't come looking like that. Well, I can't just look around, no. I said, you can come back here. So like it had been a meeting there, so it must be that Wednesday, that Friday. I can't remember, it was a long time ago. Remember, this is 1970, 50 years ago, right? So what's wrong with the way I'm dressed? I said, man, and it turns out, this is one of the brothers I didn't recognize at times. I'd been in the military. One of the brothers, I really wasn't friendly with him, right? Who was growing up, but I knew him from the hood. I didn't recognize him at the time. So anyway, I said, I got to get in here and see what this is about. Because I'm not the type of person, I just did something without checking out first. I'm not one guy, man, I don't like this. Never test. You got, you got to make an opinion. You got to have an experience before you make an opinion, right? So I went out, I bought me some patent the shoes, expensive ones. Got my throat cut down. Bought me a suit. It was like a $500 suit. I had some money. Right? I was clean, boy. I was clean, right? Because when we was growing up, that's the way we actually dressed. Just like like the FYI, sooner. The way we dressed was good. I got pictures of myself, right? When I grew up in Nook, that's the way we dressed. I was clean. Wearing suits and things like that, not just pants hanging down and slippers, all this bullshit, right? I pop up in there, must have been on Wednesday or Friday. I don't remember, he told me. Brother, he said, man, what happened to you? He told me, what happened to you? I don't know what I said, but anyway, I got in there. I'm sitting down. The first thing the brother told me, first thing came out of his mouth, was God's a man. It's like, rivers flow right through me because I always believe that. I always people thought I was crazy. Man, my God's a man. Because that's what it said in the Bible. That's what I read it. He said that's I know I was in the right place. Now remember, I'm still looking for Elijah. Right? Now I didn't realize the same thing with Elijah. I just wanted to get in there because the brother told me to go out, check it out. I want to check it out. See, because at first I went looking at Black Panther. I thought he might be with them because they were supposed to be the down ones, right? So right away, I wanted to get involved in this. I forgot about Elijah at that point. I was so excited when he said that. I said, I know I'm in the right place. When I looked for Elijah, I didn't know his name was going to be Elijah. I knew it would be a person that fulfilled the scripture. So in my excitement, I start initiating the joining, the letter. I still didn't register to me that this ain't anything with Elijah. I knew it was on the form and stuff, but I was just so excited. And I said, I got my ex within 30 days, right? But then somewhere along the line, I realized that this was social with Elijah. And I was fit. I mean, I don't know what crack my stuff like. I must have been like 10,000 doses of crack. And I was like, boom, really? And name is Elijah? And I asked Mr. James about where is he? He says, well, he's in Chicago. What are you doing in Chicago? I'm thinking this is a church lab. And I know it was international or national all over the country. So he told me, well, no, the main temple is in Chicago. Okay, well, I'm off Chicago. He didn't want me to go. He tried to stop me from going. He said, we need a cover travel letter or cover whatever. Me, man, this is a free country. I go out. No, you got to have a because you got your ex here. He tried to talk me out of it. He did everything. He tried to talk me out of it. He wanted me to stay there. And I knew most of the brothers that was up in there because I grew up with them. So no. So he finally, September, he finally gave me whatever letter I needed. And I was off Chicago. See? So excuse me, I'm still dealing with this. Actually, I couldn't even talk all day long. I had to take something, right? My cough got so bad, it calmed down, but then my whole lungs and everything was so sore. Every time I would talk, I couldn't even say 2 words out. Being in severe pain. Anyway, I'm gonna close this out, brothers and sisters. Right? And I'm kind of losing my train of thought here. But the point is that Master Muhammad is getting ready to release, take down false Israel, where he's going to put panic in the world, where he's going to put extreme fear. And that fear is going to paralyze your heart, which will kick your brain into gear. That'll happen. And if your brain can't kick into gear, you're dead. If it kicks into gear, you better know what to do. But you're still dead. So we're trying to put that information on your mind, brothers and sisters. That's what we're trying to do. Hopefully, that will finally get your mind to kick in, because they got you operating on an emotional level right now. Trying to give you a jump start. That's where you're going right now. Get a jump start. Okay, give them a jump. Bring them jumper cables. Excuse me, brothers and sisters' house. Let's be wearing off. Jumper cables. Master Muhammad's great gives a jumper cable. See if it kick in, don't kick in. Right? Engine don't start. Battery's dead. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. I'm trying to show you this massive, this whole process is not just something just happening. to manage the whole process. The Master Muhammad is trying to give you a jump start. I'm trying to when you give it to you, put it on your mind so to kick in. Because if it kick in, if you get the engine kick in, but you don't have any gas, then what's the point? It's by working together here, brothers and sisters. And you all, brothers and sisters, right? On here. Mm-hmm. You all, brothers and sisters, that been blessed to have your eyes open. Hope you can stand up to the plate. Our brothers and sisters are dependent upon you. You want to know how you overcome? Remember, 5 pillars of Islam, one of them is Hajj. That means teaching our people. There's a reason why certain people got that name. Trying to send messages. Just get that part of it. That's part of your advancement. More about that another time. I'm gonna have to stop here, brothers and sisters, because my voice is about gone. They're trying to do everything to stop this. They're not gonna stop it. If they want to get rid of me, just have to go ahead and do it directly. I don't think they're gonna try to do it again, but they might. Okay, brothers and sisters. I'm gonna leave it there. Maybe I'll try to do another video later on tonight. Right? Once if I can get this together. Because we're so close, brothers and sisters. Anybody knows if they look around there, this is about to blow. It's already heated up. It's about to hit the boiling point. You want to know what's next, 2020, 2022? My previous presentation told you, I'm telling you now. We got people from their heart to the mind. So we don't want you ain't going to hereafter on the mind, on heart level. Because you're God's. We're only taking God. So Master Muhammad is a mercy to you. Because he's getting ready to pull the plug on the bottom line, the basis, the foundation, this false reality, it's emotional reality. But that's what it is. It's an emotional reality. The gravitational vortex is all based on emotion. And you have to overcome emotion. Get the intellect kicking in. Democracy, all that is all about emotion. You want to be the God, you have to get that, and they've got you reduced to emotional level. That's why people can't hear nothing we talk about unless we're going to sing it or dance it. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum.